This is amazing. My name is Maxwell Coomer, and I had the unique privilege of being the only person in the world who got to be Tim's little brother. Being a little brother of almost 10 years difference in age, I'm sure I was trying, tiresome, and troublesome to him, probably almost every day. And none of that was helped by the fact that I couldn't get enough of him. Wherever he was, I was there. I was always there. Growing up, if you needed to find me, you didn't have to look any further than Tim. Even though I was always demanding his attention or sitting on him or otherwise hanging from his leg as he walked down the ranch-style hallway of our house, he never once made me feel like I was being a pest or annoying or made me feel unwelcome. Not once. That's who he was. That's who my brother was. He had an amazing ability to make people feel good and confident and strong just being in his presence. That's something I experienced my entire life with him. Probably none so much as when I was riding with him in his 1978 blue Camaro. Al, where's Al? He did love driving, didn't he? When I was riding that Camaro to my baseball game, I was the coolest person on this planet. It was the best feeling in the world. The blue Camaro. We called it the blue Comet, or if we were feeling particularly sophisticated, Sandy, do you remember the blue Comet? That was a great car. I was on top of the world simply being in his presence. And that's who my brother was. He was also an incredible teacher of life. My very first paying job was working for him. He took care of cleaning my dad's office, and I was his assistant. I was 8 years old, and this was around the time of the air traffic controller strike in the early 80s. So I got the bright idea that I was going to go on strike. So I made a strike sign, being very creative, and I was going to make my demands, walk down that long ranch-style house hallway to make my demands. And Tim patiently and politely listened, just as you would expect he would. Then he fired me. It's probably worth noting that I was already being overcompensated at the time. So he let me think about it for about 30 minutes, and then he hired me back, teaching me to think before acting, something that he was very, very good at doing. And that's who my brother was. Tim was a badass. I mean, let's call it like it is. Let's not beat around the bush here. Tim was a badass, and he was given 18 months to live. And he lived for 29, but he didn't just live those 29 months. He continued to research and to counsel people, counseling other cancer patients, counseling me. One of the most profound conversations, important conversations I've ever had in my entire life was just a few weeks ago with him. And he did all this while enduring intense pain. He endured the pain instead of being medicated, so that he could be present with everybody that he encountered. That's who my brother was. That's how strong he was. Strength in every sense of the word, more than any man I've ever seen. He was and forever will be my hero. To my boys, Mitt and Benjamin, remember your Uncle Tim for the loving man that he was, and emulate his unbounded kindness. And Ben, remember the fun we had flying with him to St. Louis and Tallahassee. Those were fun trips, spur-of-the-moment kind of things. And as others have, I know Tim's big thing was about experiences, and he helped us to do that. To Sean, Ryan, Seth, and Nick, I'm never going to have the seemingly infinite wisdom that your dad had, but I learned so much from him. I'm so thankful I got to spend so much time with him my entire life, and especially these last few months, and even the day before he died. My door is always open to you guys. Always. Don't ever hesitate to come to me anytime. So I want to close with a few things that Tim wrote on January the 21st, 2020. This is a few weeks after the cancer diagnosis. He said, "My heart has been blessed with a new empathy for those who suffer. I feel a significant burden to do whatever I can for others going forward who are suffering, to support people more, to feel the complete understanding of what suffering brings, and to help in some way alleviate others' suffering." That's what he wrote in January 2020. He had no idea the suffering that he would have to endure. But he did it, and he did it to be present. Endured the pain without the pain medication until he absolutely had to do it. That's the kind of man he was. So when he wrote that day, I emailed him that night, and I told him that what's amazing about, and I quoted that and sent it to him. I said, what's amazing about these words, it's not the words themselves. It's the fact that that's who he always was before the cancer diagnosis. He was already that. Long before that life-changing experience. But that's who my brother was. No matter how much he had done, he was always striving to better himself and to better everyone around him. So I want to close with a few more words that he wrote in that same post on January 21, 2020. And I want everybody to please listen to this and take this with you. This is what he asked us to do at the very start of this journey. And so I ask you to do it now. Take time today to look around and be aware of others who are suffering. Go beyond what you think might be reasonable to help them. A kind word, companionship, support for the caregivers, a friendly chat about something other than health are all wonderful gifts. And for all of you that have done that with my brother over the last few years, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for coming today. And I hope that gives you a little glimpse of who my brother was. Thank you.